Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the Polish Tier 8 Premium Heavy Tank, the 50TP Prototype, or Prototypus, or Prototyp, whatever. The 50TP Proto. It's a pretty decent little heavy tank, to be fair. Most people got it for free in one of the season passes. I can't remember which one. I think it was Flashpoint or something like that. I can't remember. Most people got it in one of the season passes, so most people kind of know what it's like. And if you haven't guessed by the title, as always, this is the video for which I get the third mark of excellence for this tank. And yeah, this is one that I've had sitting in the bank for quite a while now, to be fair. And yeah, it's one of those that I just looked at in my replay folders and was like, hang on a minute. I swear I did this ages ago. Looked and was like, yeah, these replays are from a wee while ago. And the one thing that hasn't actually changed about this tank is anything. It's never actually been touched. And that's the same with most of the Polish heavies. Now, while I think that some of the Polish heavies are pretty decent, and especially I think the lower down the line, I mean, the 45 TP is pretty decent. The 53 TP is really nice. The 50 TP could do with some love at tier 9, and the 60 TP could just do again with a little bit of love. You know, it's the type of line that could do with a little bit of a reforge, and this is another one that I think could do with a little bit of love, because the 3.2 second aim time is not that nice. The accuracy at 0.44 is pretty grim, although 6.0 things with the crew and the vert stabs and all that sort of stuff, that helps it a lot, but it still doesn't feel that great compared to a lot of what's out there. The reload's also pretty slow as well, but it does slap, which is nice. You know, the 440 Alpha is great at tier 8, and it does always feel nice. I mean, you've got pretty decent shell velocity as well for this kind of caliber of gun. I mean, a lot of these sorts of guns are, you know, like 800 meters a second, that sort of thing. You know, they're pretty slow shell velocity, but this 122 with 1,000 meters a second and, like, I think it's something like 1,200 meters a second on the premium round is really quite nice. So that's one positive for it. The armor on the tank is decent. The lower plate's garbage. It's got a little bump on the upper plate that can be penned by things with like 240 pen-ish, but you do have to be aware of that. So the upper plate isn't like absolutely godly, while the lower plate is, you know, trash. So you do have to be careful with that upper plate. The turret armor is pretty nice though, so if you do get hulled down, and obviously it does have really good gun depression, so you get hulled down, you'll be alright as well. Has better gun depression over the side than it does over the front, so just, yeah, be careful of that. In terms of a crew on this 50TP Proto, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Trap Mechanics, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Off-Road Driving. Off-Road Driving to make sure it helps it hit its top speed as much as I possibly can, and then all the gun perks to make sure this gun is as good as possible, because, like I say, it's really derpy, and I want to make sure that it's as good as possible. And with vert stabs and all the gun perks, it doesn't actually feel that bad, so you know, you can make it a lot nicer. And in terms of equipment, I do run rammer, vert stabs, and optics. Optics to be able to help myself see things, you know, be able to spot for myself. Vert stabs to make the gun better, naturally, as you always want to, with a gun that is as derpy as this, generally. And rammer to make your DPM times better. Always. Always, always, always. So in this first game, in the 50TP Prototype, we are on Mali. And on Mali, we've done the thing that you kind of want to do at times in your heavy tanks, especially heavy tanks with gun depression. We've gone to the hill and we've taken it. 'Cause the hill is quite a strong point to take in this map, because you can come here and you can basically, you've got good overwatch from this hill, and if you take it early enough, then you can actually stop people attacking you, which is nice. You do have to have vision though, you have to be careful of that, because if you start to get outspotted on the hill, then it can be not that great. So right now we have actually won the hill. We've managed to stop them from taking it, and we are now starting to farm them as they are in the lower ground. This poor Ferdinand is getting trashed, although we were firing through his superstructure, which is something you can't really do to the Ferdinand anymore because it got buffed not long after this. But the lower plate is still terrible, and you can still pen those cheeks, even if they did get buffed themselves in the Ferdinand as well. And we're just taking advantage of his weak spots and our very strong position. He's also very stock because he's running that 105. Just waiting for the gun to aim in, and we slam the shot in to finish off that Ferdinand. Now we're going to go in to help this Chrysler K with this Type 59. Just waiting for the reload to come in, and we can come and give him a big shot into his back end. And unfortunately, it ricochets off his ass as he just managed to maneuver in behind this Chrysler K. Really unfortunate. Give him a little bit of ram, which actually tracks him in place. And with our alpha, we managed to finish him off and actually blow his head off. A bit overkill, but we'll take it. We're up to 4.6k damage and 113 assistance. Just waiting for the reload, and we're going to see if we can get a shot into this Diamondback. Fortunately for me, the Diamondback was giving us a nice little shot into his lower plate. It was pointing his upper plate straight at us, so we got the shot in. We've only got premium rounds left, which is really going to help with penning this Diamondback anyway, because the Diamondback's an armoured beast that is a pain to pen with standard rounds, but with premium, yeah, it goes in. And shooting down like that, yeah, shooting down on his upper plate like that, that just made his armour absolutely ineffective because of the angles. So we get rid of the Diamondback, which is kind of a dangerous tank when you are facing it like, because it's got pretty nice alpha, really good reload, and pretty strong armour. And to get rid of that means that I know I'm safe from behind there. We're currently level at 5-4. They are in our cap, though. And it's like, okay, I need to get back to try and get some shots to reset it. So what I want to kind of do is sit on this ridge line in front of me, and then I can shoot down into the cap and get the resets. But they actually stop capping. It's like, okay, they've stopped capping. There is this Nomad. I've got a heavy tank behind me. There's the Ragnarok just been spotted there who's attacking our medium tank. And I'm thinking, right, if I can shut down this Ragnarok, if he gets spotted, we're going to boost our view range and stuff with food. See if we can spot it. Which we end up doing. It's like, well, there's the Ragnarok. I can try and hopefully get a shot in to shut him down, which takes out the threat from behind. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite work out like that. That Nomad's disappeared. We actually end up spotting him there, and I'm thinking, oh, God, this is a bit awkward. Because we've got a Nomad, you know, a really strong French autoloader on our left. We've got some tanks down near our cap. But actually, I can stay safe from the guys near our cap. So what I want to do is get over and start hurting this Nomad, because he can clip me out quite easily. But if I can keep getting shots into him before he gets shots into me, we'll be okay. And I'm looking at like, please, Mr. Heavy Tank, help me. Don't go that way, because I'll be alone and I'll be scared. This Frenchie wants me. We put ourselves up to 6.5k damage, and now we're just going to keep wiggling, angling our armour to make it try and be as hard as possible for him to pen us. He's fired a couple of shots there now, which means he can't quite kill us with the shots he has left. He gets another shot into us, he manages to track us, and unfortunately, before we manage to reload to shut him down, the Ragnarok that we missed a shot on earlier on comes in and finishes us off. But we finished the game with 4 kills, 6.8k damage. We did manage to get there in the end with 913 assistance. The ace tanker, the high caliber. Fortunately enough for us, KG carried it through to the end. And finished with that 2.3k base XP with 6.8k damage in a tier 8 heavy tank, which is always a really nice result. And thankfully, KG managed to carry us through to the end there to win the game, because otherwise that game looked like a really big loss. And we're on to the second replay. And on this second replay, we're on Cliff. And on Cliff, I am going to do an aggressive push. And that is push straight down the 2 line into the bowl, and then get hull down at E3 and attack those that push along the BC line. Now, it's kind of aggressive in the 50TP Proto because it's not the quickest, and it's feast or famine, right? This could either go really well or horrendously badly. It's one of those plays that will either work out one of 2 ways, because I could get to this position here where this medium is, to this rock, get spotted, instantly get deleted. Or, like you're going to see happen, I'll get into this spot. We get spotted, and it's like, okay, we lose a bit of hit points. We managed to fluff a shot at the HWK-30, but we only lost 4 to 500, well, yeah, nearly 500 hit points there. And now we're in the strong position that we wanted to be in, which means it's going to work. And once you get here, as long as there's no artillery to keep pummeling you, you can stay hull down and start slapping shells out, which is what this tank can be pretty decent for. So we've got this Paladin coming after us, and after that shell that missed at the HWK-30, that shell onto the lower plate, the Paladin, is really frustrating that it missed. He's now pushed quite aggressively into the open. We have to try and start punishing him with shots. We put 1 shot into his lower plate, which means he's now a 1-shot for us. Fortunately enough, he bounces. I'm just being careful of this KV-85, because again, I can kill both of these guys in 1 shot. So what we're going to do is use the dead wreck in front of us to protect me from the Paladin and shut down the KV-85 who was flanking round that would have had side shots. So with the dead wreck protecting us, I knew I'd be able to stay safe from the Paladin and shut down that guy. Now he's gone. We're going to aim for the Cupola on top of the Paladin, and we shut down the Paladin as well. We're up to 500 assistance with 1,000 damage, and we're just waiting for the reload of this tank to go in. Like I say, it is a pretty damn slow reload at 11.7 seconds, and now we're in a position where we can start getting shots at the guys that are attacking our mediums and that. Just got to wait for the aim time to fly in, and we get a nice shot into the T29 there for 400. Just going to start side scraping out a little bit to make sure that we're not just driving out sideways on. This P43 Biss will struggle to pen us, which he does. We slap another shot straight through his side. Big rolls. I said 440 Alpha is really nice. The Type 59, oh sorry, the T54 Mod 1 starts looking at us, and he ends up doing tracks only. If he's firing premium, he will be able to pen our lower plate. If he's firing standard, he might still struggle a little bit. We're just going to, again, use our armour effectively. We're tucking a little bit, make it so it's hard for him to hit us. And 449, nice roll, get to shut down the T54 Mod 1. Now, again, we're firing as quickly as we can. Fortunately enough, the Dragon gets respotted, and we shut him down. The power of the Alpha is definitely very nice for this tank, because a lot of the time when you see someone that's at like 410 hit points, you pretty much know you're going to kill them, as opposed to some of the other tanks that have 390, where you just, you know, you're 50-50 as to whether you're high roll enough. Now we're just waiting for this gun to aim in, because you have to wait for the gun to aim in to truly hit a lot of the shots in this tank. Once it gets fully aimed in, it was a slim shot on the SU-130, but we managed to slam it into to get another big shot of damage into him. Now we're just watching these guys below. We shut down the Comet, and their team is absolutely doomed. They're starting to get surrounded, and I'm just looking at these guys like, please, hold your hit points, I want more damage, my friends. Get a nice shot to the side of the T28 prop, but he is sideways onto everyone else, and we finished the game with 1100 assistance and 4.4k damage, which is like, you know, 5.5k combined, which is the epic victory. 5 kills, 4.4k damage, the 1100 assistance, ace tank of the high caliber, the sniper, and that was the third mark of excellence for the 50TP Proto with the 1908 base XP. Really nice game for the tank. 2 really nice games for the Polish heavy tank. Probably it's just a little bit of love this day and age, and it can be fun. But yeah, the aim time and the accuracy is just a little bit better, and the DPM just a slight bit better as well. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.